The Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show.
Boss in the Sauce Show. Here we go.
6 wins sounds great. But let's jump up out of there and go over to my boy, Craig Boyle. If that's how they say it, Craig Boyle. But he's a Wyoming Cowboys coach over here. This is his 20th year coaching, 9th year at the school. His record is 149-82. Right here, he's 45-50, so he's a little below standard, right here. But he runs the traditional Wyoming offense and defense well, with offensive coordinator Tim Pozak and defensive coordinator Jay Swivel. The staff returns a mediocre 2 wins in the Mountain West from last year. I could say that they might be getting tired of Craig Boyle if he doesn't do something this year. He's going to have to jump out of this some way, somehow. But the bad part about it is he builds such tough players that many of those players jumped portal and went to bigger schools. Some of these guys are over at bigger schools, which says a lot about the type of athletes that he has over there. But last year they were 7-6, 2-6 in conference. As I mentioned, he kind of got off to a good start playing out of conference. But as he got in the conference game, it got a little bad for him. So a lot needs to be done with this team right here, and he gets 0 seniors to help him out right here. So the quarterback debate will be over this year. Do we go with Levi or do we go with Shine? Guess what? They both left. So this year, this position's wide open again. They bring in Utah State transfer Andrew Peasley to lead the way. And they have a red shirt and a JUCO player as well that's going to be competing with him. Right at running back, Valladay, one of the greatest, forward, I say strong runners that they had in the Mountain West. He's out of there. He transferred, but he leaves it over to Titus Swin. He did a pretty good job last year as like a duo, and he got a little depth to go with him. So they may be well off at the running back position. At the receiver position, he only gets 1 solid returner, and he gets 2 at the tight end spot, though. So they use the big tight ends pretty good for blocking and passing over at Wyoming. So some good tight ends could help the quarterback situation. But basically, it's all going to rely on the quarterback situation. If the quarterback can come in, which the quarterback at Wyoming has been a facilitator for a long time because they run a strong running game. But we notice with Levi that when they can open it up and pass it a little bit and the quarterback could be a little more mobile, that it was a little more worth it for him. So now they got in Andrew Peasley, you get a little bit of both, a guy that can throw the ball and he can take off and run it too. So if the quarterback fares well for him, they got 4 on the line returning to block for him. So I think they could protect them pretty well. And that'll be his best hopes we can get going on the offense would be for this to come together, in this odd form.
Yeah. I mean, the kid that's coming over from Utah State, like he was, when Bonner came over there, then that kind of sealed the deal for him. So now he's over with Craig Bowl over at Utah. Over at Wyoming. But the thing, here's a head scratcher for me with this Wyoming team. We know they're a gritty team, especially at home. When they're playing at home, that Wyoming defense. But they have the number 1 passing defense, right? They've got the number 2 rushing offense in conference, but they're horrible at stopping the run in conference. They're like ranked 11th. So if you can run the ball on the offensive side, you think you'd be able to figure out how to stop the run if you're really good at it, But and you're right, I have to agree with you because maybe they're getting a little antsy up there in Laramie, with his record, but he produces some talent. The kid now, this kid Peasy, they're saying, that the Wyoming fans are really excited about him. They said because he reminds me of another guy that plays in Buffalo right now, named Josh Allen. Now I can't draw a comparison just yet because it's way too early, but they said he's kind of a raw talent. He's got all the tools, all the weapons. So they really like this kid coming in. So maybe he's kind of, like you said, with Levi, he's done some things in the past, but, there's a lot of changes going on here in Laramie. So, but the one thing that's consistent is, they're going to play Craig Bowl football, and we know what they do there. So I think they need to clean up the pass, the run defense. They got the number one pass defense for sure. And, they're always in those low total type scoring games when they play in Laramie. So they need to get a little better on the road, clean up the run because, people are going to try to run the ball down. And if they don't do that, then you're going to get more of the same with the same result. It's not going to be good for Craig Bowl long term.
Hey, my hats off to Craig. I mean, he gets the bad end of the stick of the transfer portal. Yeah. Not being able to keep his athletes. He's been there way long enough to have depth shouldn't be an issue at this point if these players wasn't able to just get up and bounce like that.
That's my keynote. He's getting bit by the transfer portal. You know what I mean? That keeps biting. Especially now. A couple of years ago it wasn't so bad, but now it's just like they're often running to the bigger schools, like you say.
Yep. So he reached deep. He reached deep in the transfer portal, and he also threw a little JUCO in there as well. So I mean, if you're a good coach and you got an eye for talent, you might be able to turn some of those young men into grown men on the field. So I think he has that type of talent. His defense is possessed at times, and it shows. Yeah. And that has a lot to do with coaching. Some of those players may not even play at that level again. And some of those players are going to take what they learned from Wyoming, they take it over to the NFL places and they apply it, and it does even better for them. So great player coach, caught the bad end of the transfer portal. His team should have been in the top 3 coming into this year if he gets to keep all his pieces and he brings over just that quarterback. Oh, it'll look nice. But for all that he lost on offense and defense, it's going to be a struggle. So let's jump on over.
He's got the best of both worlds. Like he's got the top 2 pieces on both sides of the ball, but they can't put it together, which is it's mind-boggling. It really is.
Yeah, it'll be very impressive if he pulls his way out of this. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
But let's jump over to